Welcome back, welcome back. So I've been listening to I don't think she's a reader. She just talks. And I pass her up a lot cuz I'm on this other stuff, and when I hear her speak, I know what she's talking about. So, sometimes I like to go past the other versions of me. She's like an older, smarter version of me. She's obviously, um, more knowledgeable. And I keep trying to tell the men on my channel, like, yo, sex is not what you think it is. First of all, it's not. It's more than what they've taught us. They've stripped us of what we used to do with it. And I like to bring this video out because it's so good. And then I want to talk about, hopefully I don't get mad, because I usually do, but I'm trying to mature. I'm trying to learn how to, you know what I mean? I ain't never had nobody it doesn't matter. It's not about me.
Message is
But it is
specifically
about
catered
me.
towards the melanated man, but obviously it's open for anyone who is ready for this type of revelation. Not saying that
For people that don't think I'm celibate, I don't need to lie to you. This is why I don't have sex.
I'm bringing up anything new that you might not have heard before, but my dream actually gave me confirmation. So I have to tell you all about a dream that I had last night. Not everybody is going to agree with this message. Some people might even become offended by this message. So if you do, you can kindly exit. Don't even bother to leave a comment, because I'm not interested
There's
in
your warning.
the naysayers at this point. So last night I had a dream that a romantic partner that I had in the past called me. And he called me on video chat. And he was sitting in this room on the couch. And he was pretty much pleading with me to give him another chance. And, I was telling him, like, hey, I don't know about that. I'm not comfortable with it. And so an older European woman came to the doorway. And she said something to him. I couldn't make out what she said. But she left back out. And then another European woman came and she made her face known in the camera. And I told him, I says, I want to talk to you in private. If we're going to have this conversation, I don't want everybody all up in my business. And so she yelled and she was like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here. And so when she got back into the camera, I noticed that she was literally half dressed. She was wearing a thong and like this lace see-through really short skirt. And so she was walking around, prancing around, trying to, I don't know, obviously she was trying to seduce him, but it was more or less her trying to prove a point to me that she had him in her web of lust.
Dreams are related to the spirit world. What I believe you're having is the dream and revelation of the spirit that goes over these women, and it's taunting you. It's letting you black women know we got your men, and you can't have them back because you don't want them back. Period. You don't want to forgive them. They made they did their things. They got beaten ahead by society and all this other stuff, and they're not good enough for you no more until the lights go out.
And so more women, European women, began to come into the room and surround him. And they all started performing these very lewd sexual acts. And I told him, I says, I'm getting ready to.
If you want to keep a people down, do you do this to the weak niggas or do you do it to the strongest of them? Yous are fucking dumb.
I hang up the phone, but I was like, you need to tell them to go away.
I'm sorry for getting
angry. He couldn't do it. He was hypnotized.
You're not dumb. We just don't know.
I hung up the phone. Now, This message is very important because I feel that what I was shown in the spiritual realm is the true nature of, or the origin of, the Jezebel spirit, the lust demons that have captured the sexual energy of many of the melanated men. And as much as a lot of people might want to say, well, anyone can carry a lust demon, yes, the energy definitely gets passed from one person to the next. So you can be of any race, creed, color, size, age, whatever, and carry that same Jezebel spirit. But the origin of where it was birthed and formed is through the European woman.
I would believe that if the Father didn't make us so special. I would believe that if there wasn't a Bible that has a woman named Jezebel and she was us. Jezebel was a black woman. And her king was an Israelite man that was a pussy ass pushover that listened to his wife more than he listened to the commandments of God. Which thus left her to make him accuse us of bad things and destroy us. Oh, the thing that happens in the hood every day. That nigga talk to me. Now go deal with him.
If we go back in history, one thing that we know about sex, if we talk about sex in general.
Do they do it to the white boy? No. Oh, they only tell you to go beat up that little black nigga that talk to them. They don't tell you, help me defend against the police that wrongfully do me dirty. No. But you'll pull that gun out on me, though. You'll put me in the ground in a heartbeat because she told you to.
One thing that we know about sex is that a man is only going to do what a woman allows him to do.
Now, ladies, aren't you told the opposite? Aren't women always taught sex is only up to women and da? No, it's not. Why? Because a man can forcibly take it from you. You cannot take sex from a man. You have to go through all these extra things. You gotta tie him up. You gotta get a gun, a knife, and all of this. If a man wants to take it from you, the ugly guy, if he didn't have morals, if the police wasn't here, a lot of you would understand this. You get it? You do get that. The ugly guys and the regular niggas like me, they don't do it because we'll fuck them up.
If the woman says, let's do this, more than likely the man is on board.
Yep.
If the woman says, I'm not into this, more than likely the man is going to reroute and find a way to ensure that he gets to that point of climax. And he's more than happy to engage her without performing those things that she says she's totally against. Now,
you know why? Because when you're a good man, you allow the woman to have all the permission over the sex. You allow them to be comfortable. You want to know what they want. You don't want to just do what you was taught from this sick fucking world.
The fact of the matter is, when we look back into history, we know that there was that point in time where slavery existed, and you know that the European woman was very much so captured by the genitals of the melanated man, and vice versa.
Where the fuck do you think the saying, I want a man that's tall, dark, and handsome, that's been out for so long? There's rules against not having sex with us, so how the fuck is that a saying? How?
The European man was definitely captured by the genitals of the melanated woman. We know this.
They were captured by the man too. Don't put, no, they're weird. They're weird. Yous don't get how really weird and how much attracted their fucking men really are to us. Like, once you go down the crates and see things, you start realizing they're more attracted to us than their women are. It's fucking weird.
But specifically, the melanated man, his genitals was very alluring to the European woman. And they took a lot of risk in order to get a taste of that mandingo. Now, I'm just being very, very clear with y'all. You know what it is. You know that there were a lot of lewd acts that was performed at that time because they felt like, well, this is a slave, this is an animal, so I can do what I want with him in whatever manner I want.
And that was the beginning of programming your men to be sexual deviants. See, you guys don't understand that they wanted to let us go, and they needed to do what they're doing to us now. So they programmed your men to not like their women, and they programmed the women not to like the men. They gave all the women that would listen to them power over the men, and, you get it? You dudes get it? It's always been a trick. We think they were just doing things. They wasn't just doing things. They were planning and scheming, getting ready for the time of now. They didn't even know that's what they were doing. Because their boss got a boss to get a boss. And their boss doesn't tell them the truth.
And they did the same for the melanated woman. But the European man learned about certain sexual acts through the European woman. Because again, the man is only going to do what the woman allows him to do. And so
they're the opposite of us. If we are more man-like and we protect our women and we run the shit, then they're the opposite, right? Don't they even go by their genealogy, by the mother? The mother's the most important. We go by the father. Everything is opposite from us. They don't have a man leader, you idiot ass niggas. There's really a woman behind them, you fucking dummies.
Of the Jezebel spirit began with the European woman. And so fast forward, you go into the time where pornography was first started, you remember the...
You don't believe me? How the fuck did Queen Elizabeth stay Queen Elizabeth all that time? You do realize they served a woman, right? You do realize that, right? Oh, okay.
Playboy and Hugh Hefner and, all of these different things that existed when pornography first began.
Master Windu, think oppositely. If we do things this way, they do things that way.
Most of the time you saw Europeans having sex with one another, performing all types of acts with one another. That's where it began. It was not a common theme to see melanated people in pornos. I'm talking about way back when they first came out. And
I'm from the 80s and I still remember that because, as you go on and it goes on, we're not allowed to be the stars and everything, so there wasn't a lot of us. So even in the 70s and 80s, that's what we grew up on, watching these fuckers do it and shit. And that's programming. Don't you notice after that, when the porn came out, the wave of the 80s and 90s of black men wanting to fuck white women started happening? I wonder why. Because our own women don't want to deal with us.
Obviously, I was not here, but if you look back into time, I'm sure that many of you can verify what I'm saying right now. And so certain sexual acts did not come into play until this spirit began to run rapid from those people who had contact with the European woman. My dream
because they realized a long time ago, whatever you see, you can become. So they knew we don't watch them have sex. So they said, we got to change the way they have sex. We've already fucked them up and shit. But we need to get to their sacral chakra. We need to fuck that thing up. Because as below, so above. Destroy the mind. And then make sure you destroy the mind of this. Because then they're fucked. For years. And we'll rule over them.
Because this person their desire was to come back to be with a melanated woman. They wanted to do the right thing. They were practically pleading that I would allow them back into my energy. But this European woman refused. But see, the problem was this person, he was so hypnotized in the dream that he could have if he wanted to, but he did not stand up for himself and say, no, you will leave. No, you will not be in my energy anymore. He could have done that.
See, in the dream world, that's what it is. In the real world, what it is, we do plead to use every day. We're not good enough. We're too fucking broke. We've done too many bad things or whatever. This is why I don't like anyone. Everyone talks that shit, and when it's time to forgive and work with what you got, yous complain and then yous fucking want some other men to come. No one's coming! You have what you have and you have to work with it. Just like we gotta deal with the women and shit. It's a fucking joke. It's a joke. We can all identify who the fucking good and bad ones are, and I get it. Some of us are rough around the edges, whatever. Leave us to the fucking wayside. But there's some men that are fucking, oh yeah, they're ugly.
But he didn't. Instead, he fell right into the entrapment of lust.
That matters.
And the acts that this woman began performing on the other Europeans that came in there said a whole lot, again, about this Jezebel spirit and how many of the melanated men have become fixated on this lustful energy that goes beyond the boundaries in the bedroom. We're talking about to the point where normal sex, okay, which is highly pleasurable between two spiritual people who understand what sex is all about. Normal sex is no.
See, I understand, like, when y'all see the Master Windu shit, y'all probably get like, oh, this nigga's a weirdo. No, I'm not. I'm describing what normal sex is on a higher level. I'm not talking about doing all that super nasty shit that yous may think it is. It's just that that's all yous know. You've never made love to a woman. You've never pushed your energy into a woman. You don't know nothing about that. You know how to push that negative shit on her, though. You know how to do that. I may not be the greatest teacher in the world. That's because I'm out here in the fucking field battling demons and actually doing the things I talk about. You people just fucking talk shit. Not all of you, but majority of men and women, you're just talking. You're talking like, let's go save the melanated people and let's save our men. You'll run into a man and fucking shoo him away because he's not exactly what yous want. Yous look at it like, well, we need to be fixed. We're all broken. They did that so we wouldn't choose each other. What the fuck is wrong with yous?
No longer satisfying enough. It's no longer driving the sexual urge of the melanated man because they've gotten too captured in the European way.
Addicted.
Of fornicating. And so the Jezebel spirit is running rapid to the point where many of them are so captured by this lustful energy that they won't even stand up for themselves. A strong part of their spirit is calling them to come back home, come back to nature, get back to Mother Nature, get back to your melanated woman, get back to...
And when we do, we get rejected because we don't have enough. And then that crushes our spirits, which if you're not over drinking and doing drugs, then you're going to do the drugs. And then one of the European or Spanish ones that are down there still doing that, they're going to be like, hey, bah, ah. And then they use you up and throw you to the wayside.
Being disciplined again.
And then you lose another one.
Their sacral chakra is so overactive.
Like yous have
they're so
a lot of pickings.
This energy that it's like they're weak. They're completely weakened. And this energy is going to bring a lot of the melanated men down with Babylon. As the beast of this system continues to die, know that the Jezebel spirit is the wife of that same beast that has kept this system going. Sexual energy has been a large part of their rituals for a very, very long time. Spell work has always been done, especially on the genitals of the melanated man, and that's why they cut his penis off time and time again.
Okay, so if you know that they focus on us more, why do you think? Why do you think they're gonna do that? Oh, because we're the men. We gotta lead. We gotta lead. When shit gets real and all that He-Man woman shit, when you gotta like fight, when the real shit starts, all your gentlemen, I need a man like Jesus. All right, well when it's David time, well, what's he gonna do? Turn a cheek. Turn the cheek.
And when they were hanging and killing the melanated man. So these are the things that has continued to happen over history, but we haven't been able to see it on a deeper level because a lot of people are saying, well, maybe it's because, he's...
Now do you see why I say wolf up? But learn to control your anger. You gotta let that fucking beast out, but you gotta control it.
cheating or he's running rampant out here in the streets because you need to be more of a Jezebel in the bedroom. Maybe you need to try something new. Maybe you need to. But if it's stepping outside of your own moral compass, and if it's taking you into playing roles that you're just not comfortable with, then all you're doing is feeding that insatiable appetite and making it, by the time you get done flipping cartwheels and doing all types of crazy foolishness in the bedroom just to appease the Jezebel spirit that's been placed on him, he's still going to go and seek out more. But now the acts that he's going to seek is...
Because in its addiction, it's called not being satisfied and knowing what sex is really about. So you have to keep doing more shit. Like I keep telling y'all, sex is a drug. And if you become addicted to it in a bad way, you will have to keep going up. Just like drugs, you got to keep taking more. Why? Because you're chasing the first time that you got high. And you were like, oh my God, it's so good. You're never getting that back. Unless you stop for a really long time and then you do it again and you're like, oh wow. There's no other way to go back. It's the same thing with sex. Once you experience more better sex, you can't go back. You have to fucking completely stop having sex. That way the next time you have sex, the shit's gonna feel really good. Oh, go celibate?
Even more lewd than what than what you call yourself stepping outside of your comfort zone to perform. He's now going to want more than that because that's no longer going to be enough to satisfy his appetite.
He can't control himself.
It's like a drug addict that goes from one hard drug to the next, seeking the thrill of what they felt when they first got introduced to that unhealthy substance.
That's what it's all about.
This is something that has captured the melanated man to the point where we have to step up. We got to do some spiritual work on their behalf because while all of them are not going to be saved from this energy, some of them are so captured by this energy that they are going to get buried with it. But there are others who really are crying out for help spiritually, but they have no idea how to clear themselves of that energy because they don't realize the source of it. They don't realize where it began.
We don't know the source of it. We don't know how to get rid of it. And, black women don't give a fuck. You just don't give a fuck. If you're not fixed, we don't give a fuck about you. Go fucking fix yourself and then come back to us, nigga.
And the thing is, I'll tell you this, you don't have to lay down. It's a lot of men that have never laid down with a European woman in their life that still possess the Jezebel spirit because it was passed down from their forefathers. It was passed down from your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather. Or it could have even jumped into your mother through rape of the European man who had also laid down with the European woman. And so that spirit has just been passed on from one person to the next.
At a young age, once I started realizing that lust shit and the heightened of sex and all that, I was never dealing with black women. And then I started learning about things. And then I said, you got problems. And then I said, I'm never going to be with a black woman. I'm never going to do. Because I know I'm not a full-grown man and I don't know what I'm doing, I'm purposely never gonna be with a black woman, so no black woman on earth can be like, that fucking nigga did me dirty. I'd rather use these other women. Well, not use them, but I don't get picked by black women a lot, so. But if you try hard enough, But anyway, I said to myself, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna stay with the other races because you're not. Something's wrong with you. And something's wrong with your women. They're on that super gangster stupid shit, and they have the lust demon on them. I'd rather go with this white girl. She doesn't have the lust demon on her. Yet.
Now, am I saying that every European woman possesses this spirit? I would hope not. But I know that the origin of this spirit comes through the European woman. And so it's very important.
Sure about that?
That.
Because 1 minute black people are saying we were here first. We know we the ones that learned all the smartest shit in the world and you stole it. So that means all the bad shit, we learned that too. We gotta stop claiming all the fucking good shit. It's ridiculous. 1 minute we're the first man. 1 minute we're the first kings. We're the first this and we're the first magi. But we didn't do any bad shit. Where the fuck do you think they learned this shit from? Us!
The melanated man begins to evaluate what he finds to be pleasurable and why.
You niggas!
Why are you drawn to that particular sexual act? Why are you so captivated by, this or that? What makes you feel like sex is at the forefront of everything for you, and that your life, you would be willing to jeopardize your entire life for the sake of getting another climax?
I said that, and I give you the answer. Scientifically, they say whatever the fuck you do the most and happens to you, you become to think that's normal. We were enslaved and taught to be animals that could not say no. Do you understand that means their women and men did sexual things to us for 500 years? And then scientists said, whatever happened to the people in the past, it's in your brain. You're gonna fucking suffer from that. You're gonna have to deal with that. Oh yeah, the Bible said sins of the father fall upon the son. So maybe that's what's wrong with us. We're still fighting the psychological effects of what they did. They programmed us like a fucking computer. But I'm the crazy one. I'm the idiot.
No matter who the woman is, you'll pay a prostitute. You'll pay a stripper. You'll pay, a crackhead in an alleyway. You'll perform acts that you would never tell a soul about. What makes you get engaged to that degree? Think about it on a spiritual level.
Yeah, it's good enough for me. Only got 2 minutes. So, you know what I mean? The point of my conversation is a lot of the men need the women's help. Now, their plan, and it worked, was to reverse us. And now women are more moneymakers than black men. Yous have the best jobs, the majority yous have homes and all of that, right? And they wanted it to be like that because they know it's in a woman's nature to choose a man on their level. That's why they keep you above us, so you never choose us. Thus, you will never have an actual community. And majority of you are just complaining, fucking, and that's it. And you want us to change and all that, but it ain't gonna happen. We need help. That's it. And if you don't, you don't. You know what I mean? We'll just dwindle down to a handful like the Bible said, and then there'll only be the good ones, and that's it. And then they'll get together, and that's it. But you know how we get there, right? That means a lot of us are going to go bye-bye. Being dwindled down to a handful means you go bye-bye. Alone, one by one. Oh, like what's going on now? So, they gave you our power for a reason. Because they know you don't want to give it to us. so he can protect you and shit, you know? So, you know, I'm not here to change things. I'm here to let you know the game. And for all you good women out there, you know, when they start stealing shit again, when they start doing what they always do every couple of 50, 100 years, when we start making too much money, you'll understand then, won't you? You'll understand when they start Black Wall Street and everything again. Right? All love, all praise. I love y'all.